Welcome back to the Beard Bros Podcast. Today's guest is the owner, CV, for the Blackcock Brewery. What is going on, man?
How's it going, man?
Hey, it's an honor to have you on.
Hey, it's cool.
I don't think anybody would have expected that out of us.
This is a little out of my realm, but a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, I go here personally.
Yeah. Well, it's cool.
It's
So,
my favorite.
I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive into your business.
Okay.
Are you from Roswell?
No, I'm actually from Magdalena, New Mexico. So,
Okay, where's that at?
So it's like central New Mexico. So
Okay.
I grew up there, and then I moved to Las Cruces for a little bit. I was going to school for engineering there at New Mexico State.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, there you go.
We have
those engineers on this. This is the second time.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't finish there. Actually, I was a senior, and I just I went to Mexico too much, I guess. I spent too much time in Juarez, so whatever. So I ended up dropping out my senior year, and then I joined the Army. So I was in the Army for 4 years.
Okay.
So did that, lived in Washington State, a lot of breweries in Washington State, and then came back to New Mexico and went to school at New Mexico Tech.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so and then I finished my degree there, and then I actually came and worked for the La Prina Foods, the cheese factory here.
Oh, yeah.
I still work there, too.
Oh, really?
So that's my main gig, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you it sounds like you've been in places and you've done things.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Did you ever, back then when you were going to school the first time around, did you envision something like this?
No. So, until probably 2013, I was the Coors Light guy, the Bud Light guy. So I didn't even like craft beer.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't even into craft beer. And then I really got into mountain biking, and all those granola eating guys, they love their craft beer. So I just kind of got the taste for IPA. Actually, the first one I ever had was a Happy Camper. Their can looks like this, actually. So.
Oh yeah, I do know.
Yeah,
okay.
from Santa Fe.
Yeah, it's actually yellow with the Z.
Yeah.
Okay, I've
Yeah, that's
actually.
cool.
I didn't know that was what it's called.
So I drank that, and I was really into craft beer. But even then, I wasn't. If you asked me 3 years ago, hey, what's your big plans? I would have said brewery. I would have probably said I actually had a powder coating business in town, and so I didn't even think about doing a brewery. So just kind of one of those.
Sprung upon you.
Yeah, I was like, what? I'm just gonna mess around with this, and yeah. So it was.
How does one get started? You said Mr. Round.
So my house, I got a shop. I have a pool, and then I have a shop, and I wanted the shop to turn into a bar. So I wanted to do a bar. I was like, man, wouldn't that be cool if I did a brewery inside that little shop, and then I had the bar so people could drink my beer and hang out by the pool. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So I started looking into building breweries, started watching podcasts, and started watching YouTube videos. And then all of a sudden I started building a brewery. And when I started building it, I was like, man, I'm not going to do it half-ass because I don't want to, if I don't like it, I want to be able to sell the equipment and stuff.
Right.
So I went into it pretty hard. So I ended up building a commercial-sized brewery in my garage.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Do it all the way in.
Do it
There was no more bars. It's the brewery.
So I kicked our 2 cars out of the garage. I took everything out, and I just started building a brewery in there. And then, I probably spent I didn't spend that long, probably 6 months building it. So I was like, I need this, I need fermenters, I need tanks, so I started building it. Then of course, I had to learn how to brew beer. But the first time I brewed beer, it wasn't the best beer, but it was drinkable beer.
Okay.
So I would give it to all my friends, and I'd be dude, check out this beer I made. I just kind of threw it out there. And,
proud moment right there.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, that is good. So, I kept doing it, get better, trying different stuff, and then, I don't know if, man, maybe he can get on the show, and his name's Toddzilla.
I have yet to speak to the guy.
We're
hoping later on we can bring the fell down a little.
Yeah. So
we tried his food, so that
on here too. Oh, awesome. So we I was talking to him about it, and I was like, dude, I'm in this brewery. I was like, check out this beer I'm making. He's like, He's like, how much you doing? And I was like, I'm doing about a barrel. I don't know. And he's like, that's quite a bit, man, for just messing around. He's like, I bet you could do a brewery. He's like, look at the licensing that. So I looked into it. I was like, holy crap, I can. Like, just get the licensing. So me and him were like teamed up at first, and we were actually looking for a location. So I was going to do the beer, and he was going to do the food. Mm-hmm. So we looked at a different. They had just closed Slotsky's in town, so we looked at that place where that new Mexican restaurant is. So we checked that out, and it was, it just needed too much work, and then it was like, I know nothing about food. I didn't even want to go there, so yeah, I ended up building this brewery. I don't know if did you go in on like the early stages of it, like the first?
No, I was no, I didn't go into there, man. It was just something. I like craft beer, but I was just not. I don't know. I guess the name kind of threw me off a little bit. So I was like, I sat back a little bit. None of my friends were going, so I was just like, you know what, man, I'm gonna dab in it, see what it's like. My girlfriend, she's one of the like, she helps y'all like banking and everything. So when I went in there with her one time, I was like, this beer is amazing. So it wasn't very long ago that
so we started out like plain Jane, man. We just had like I did minimal to just get by. Like I had to build a bathroom, I had to build a kitchen, and then like the bar, like I did it all myself. Like if any contractors or any of the permitting people are listening, I had contractors do it.
I don't think they're listening, but just in case he had help.
But yeah. So I built the whole thing. We had a bar. It was like plain as like there was nothing in it. It was like this room, no real decoration, kind of like a studio was. And but yeah, then we just kept adding to it. We started doing music every weekend. We built a stage. We added onto the bar. We used to only have 3 beers on draft. I literally went to El Paso and bought this rinky-dink draft box, and then we grew out of that. So now we're
like 6, 7 now. 10.
10. We have 10. Well, 10, 11. We actually have a specialty kegerator too that we do like the kombucha.
Oh my! Yeah. For y'all people, he let me try it the other night, and oh my god, that was amazing. I don't know, I liked it. It was different. I don't know what kombucha tea. I was looking into it after you told me. And it's kind of crazy. They put like a mushroom, like a fungus in there in the tea, and then it seems like a hard process just to make the tea. He made it into a beer, and it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people do it. Like kombucha is pretty new, but like kombucha beer is extremely new. So it's like a double fermentation process that we're doing. Because I'm a big fan of kombucha.
Okay.
My brewer is a big. Well, I have a brewer now. I mean, we get into that, but he loves kombucha, so we ended up doing this kombucha beer.
Where does that originate? I didn't really get it.
I don't know where the kombucha actually came from. Probably somewhere in Asia. But,
it was a crazy process, bro. I mean, I had to show like a video or something later on. It was crazy.
It's disgusting.
So I want to go back a little.
Yeah.
You said you were just watching YouTube videos. Is that basically how you taught yourself how to brew?
Yeah. So I kind of went over the top. So I wasn't doing the same stuff a home brewer would do, because they're using like buckets, like plastic buckets and stuff. So I kind of built I looked at schematics, because like I said, I'm an engineer, and I worked in the food industry. And you wouldn't think that brewing and making cheese is similar, but it actually is really similar in the group. A lot of it's cleaning practices and stuff of the equipment, so it was kind of an easy thing to do. But yeah, so just YouTube videos, going through those, or like you look at mess ups, you taste the beer, you watch videos on why does my beer taste like this, and then make changes from that. So.
And what is, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble, that's not fine. I mean, what is like the rules on something like that? Can anybody just brew beer?
Yeah.
You just can't sell it.
Okay.
There's a limit to what you can homebrew. I think it's like 20 barrels a year.
Oh, okay.
So that's 20 barrels. That's like 60 gallons. So you can make 60 gallons of beer a year, just on your own. Of course, you can't sell it like you were saying. But you can make it.
Shout out to my buddy. He does it, and he doesn't sell it to me. He just gives it to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like basically a sampler for him. I just sample it.
Huh. That's interesting.
Crazy.
And so you were just pretty innovative. And is anything that you crafted like originally?
Yeah.
At your brewery now?
No, we like the original beer was a blonde ale, which it was good, but it had some off flavors. So like it was kind of sweet. So there was a lot of like unfermentable sugars, which gives it a real sweet flavor, which is kind of a turnoff for beer drinkers. They want that bitter beer taste, right? Yeah, but we do some sweet beers. Like we have the stout, which has some sweetness to it. But
yeah,
we can pour some drinks. So yeah, so
I don't know exactly.
Oh yeah,
put forward.
Yeah. So this is our stout, which has some sweetness in it, but we do it on purpose. A blonde's not supposed to be sweet at all.
Pull it back, right?
Yeah, just pull it back to stop. So, but yeah, so we beer wise, we've probably done 10 different varieties of beers. So we've done a blonde, we've done a stout, we've done like 3 different IPAs, we've done pale ale, we did a red chili ale, we did a.
Oh, he was telling me about the little red chili ale.
Yeah,
and he said it was kind of hot.
Yeah, it's spicy.
The flavor for it is a great IPA, and once you hit that chili, it's chili. I mean, it's not. Yeah. It's like eating like a Rieno kind of. This is kind of hot, but the IPA part of it's super delicious.
Yeah. So it's really good, and it just has this weird. It almost like you drink it and then you get like this burning sensation right in your throat. So it's kind of.
My favorite is the Anunnaki. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
That's my favorite as well. Is the Anunnaki IPA.
Okay,
super delicious.
Damn.
The one I tried.
So you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. We're just mixing it up, and what's cool about our system and the way what we do is we're large enough to be a commercial brewery, but we're small enough to kind of take risks and do kind of some funky things. Mm-hmm. So if we make a beer and it's just disgusting, then it sucks that we put all that time in, but it's not like a deal breaker. Whereas if you go to like a bigger brewery like Santa Fe or Bosque Brewery, they're doing 10 barrels at a time, which is about 300, 400 gallons of beer each time. So if they make something that's junk and they got to dump it down the drain, they're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars in just ingredients alone, much less time. So it's kind of cool what we're doing because we get to kind of mess around a little more and be a little more risky with our beers. Yeah. And
so, have you ever thought about like branching into selling your beer like away from the brewery?
Yeah.
Or how does that work?
Yeah, it's tough. Like New Mexico is tough because you have to have a certain size to be able to do that.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, we do about 30 some gallons each batch. So we're doing around 90 gallons a day when we do a brewing day. Which sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot.
I was going to say, that sounds like a lot of beer. It's almost getting drunk.
I can outdrink it.
Yeah, so it's a lot of beer, but not enough beer. The Santa Fe's are triple batching into their beer, so they're doing 300 or 30 barrels each time, which is a ridiculous amount. That's 1,000 gallons of beer each time. So the benefit to that is that you're able to make beer for a lot cheaper. So once you sell kegs, like I can't take a keg and go to Buffalo Wild Wings and be like, here's if you give me $50, you can sell this keg. You have to go through like a distributor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I see.
Yeah, and then they're taxing it, right? So they need to make money, so they're taking 30% of it. So
everybody's just getting a smaller piece of pie.
So
on the chain.
Yeah, so if you're a small brewery, you're not going to be making that coin that you need to survive. So we're not to that level. We are looking at we do a cocktail. We call them cocktails. Cocktails.
Right.
Anyways, we do one called a Melonhead, and it's a wine-based wine cooler. So so we use wine from Tularosa Winery, and we kind of use watermelon juice and some other ingredients to make this wine cooler. It's really good. Mm-hmm. But the great thing about it is we can make a ton of it because we don't need the fermenter space.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so we may be coming out here in the next year with the wine coolers. So.
Oh man, that's something I haven't heard in a long time. Wine coolers. Yeah, because
Nice. Good, though. You're gonna have wine and you're gonna have a.
They used to be kind of popular. I don't know what happened. I guess. But I don't see very many people drinking them.
Yeah, I don't know. People are getting into the craft brew scene now, right? So it's like
that's my thing now. I mean, it kind of was our thing. We kind of went to a few before. Me and this guy, we went to a few of them before, and they were pretty good. I mean, where did we go? To, Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Where did we go in Oklahoma?
Tulsa or
Tulsa, maybe?
Tulsa,
yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We went over there and we tried a few.
Oh yeah, we did, huh? We went to. I don't think they were like a brewery. They're kind of more of like a hub, I guess, sort of.
Yeah.
But they had their own crafted beer, so I guess that would have made them a brewery. And where else did we go? We went somewhere else.
Colorado we went.
There's some pretty good ones over there.
We went to.
They're pretty popular.
Yeah, but is anyone doing the wine cooler? Like, no one does craft wine coolers, right? You're still going to get a Smirnoff or something like that, right?
Exactly.
I think you're
and so
right.
do you distribute anything like that? Like, outside of your beers, are you selling like the Bud Lights or the Coors Light or anything like that?
Yeah, so New Mexico has some weird liquor laws, and this was part of the reason why I saw the benefit in starting your own brewery. Mm-hmm. Is that, like, in order for, like, a Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm going to keep bringing them up.
No.
I like Buffalo.
Right.
But they have a full liquor license, so they paid, probably $700,000 to $1 million for this liquor license just to sell Bud Light, other liquors. So a way around that, and New Mexico and that's why you see breweries popping up all over New Mexico, is if you brew your own beer, they're going to allow you to sell any New Mexico beer and any New Mexico wine with that brewer's license, which will cost you about $1,000.
Oh.
Instead of $1 million, I'm paying $1,000, and now I can sell Santa Fe beer, I can sell Albuquerque beer, I can sell Las Cruces beer with that same license. So it's kind of a loophole around the liquor license, which is cool because it's promoting New Mexico to do their own stuff.
Right.
It's promoting New Mexico beers.
And I don't think B-Dub sells the New Mexico beers. Do
they sell double whites there.
They do?
Yeah, they're catching on.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have they have more now than they ever have, but they're still playing catch up. So yeah,
interesting. I would see those are things that I definitely would have never known. I've never really gotten into it that far in depth, so that's pretty interesting to see that. It seems to take money, but you found a way to get around it, and it looks like y'all are doing pretty well for yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when y'all first opened, everybody was like, "Hey, did you hear about it?" Because they have the one in Artesia.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called.
Hopscotch.
Yeah, they have that one, and it was literally one of the first times I had ever been there, about September of last year, around there, and you guys had just about last year, right?
Yeah, it would have been October, around October.
Yeah, I remember now because it was like, "Hey, did you hear about Blackhawk?" And at first, I was like, "Blackhawk, like that's what I want to get into." That's what I was like.
I'm surprised I heard that question.
Yeah, so I'm like Blackhawk, and I just never made it around, and I still have yet to go. And apologies for that, but there's other reasons.
I make up for it. I think I make up for it.
But
at least once a week.
What's it called? How'd you come up with the name?
Yeah. So that's a funny story. When I told you I went to school in Las Cruces, New Mexico State. Well, I worked for UPS, and I worked with a guy, and he was like, "Hey, you want to make some extra money?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "Hey, man, I got these roosters. I fight roosters in Anthony, New Mexico."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "I just need you to come on the weekend and feed them and give them water and stuff, and I'll pay you to do it." I'm like, "Right on, I'll do that." So I would go down there on the weekend and give them food and water. Of course, some of the other rooster owners and stuff would all be down there, and I don't speak Spanish, but they would ask, "Hey, what's your name? What's your name?" And I just kind of made up a name, like trying to be cool, El Gallo Negro. I was like, call me El Gallo Negro. And then they would laugh because it's, you know, it's a kind of a prestigious name,
right,
especially in the Mexican culture, and then especially in the French culture, because their national birds are the black rooster, right? It's
really?
Yeah. So I made that up, and then I was telling some mechanics a story at Laprino Foods, and then I was a maintenance supervisor, so I was their boss, and I was like, yeah, they call me El Gallo Negro. That was my name, and they would laugh and laugh. So they started calling me El Gallo Negro. Just kind of joking around to make fun of me, right? Because I'm this white guy, and then we're calling me El Gallo Negro. This gringo goes by that. Well, I was going to call the brewery El Gallo Negro, and then I was like, man, it's pretty Mexican. Not a lot of Mexicans like. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Not a lot of Mexicans like craft brew, so I was targeting the wrong audience. So so one of my buddies was like, well, why don't you translate it and just call it like Black Rooster? And then I think alcohol was involved, probably. But we were like joking around, like, how would we call it Black Cock? And we were like, that's ridiculous. And we were laughing. I was like, Black Cock.
And then at the end of the day, Black Cock.
And then it's funny because I was like, yeah, Black Cock makes sense. And then like the next day, we were like, I was like, dude, I like that. I like that Black Cock. It's kind of racy, kind of tough to roll off the tongue, man.
It's ballsy as hell.
It's ballsy, right? People won't even say the name. But so I started all the paperwork because you have to start your liquor license stuff like 6 months, 7 months in advance.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So you got to pay the money up front. You have to have the equipment. You have to have the place. So I had to have all the equipment made. I had to give them all their money for the licensing, which was $1,000. But even a bigger deal is I had to be leasing the building and it had to be ready for operation. So not only did I have to have the building lease, I had to show the building layout and how the layout was going to be on the building. I had to hire an architect. I had to do all this stuff for this license. And so, tens of thousands of dollars I had thrown into this project. And it just kept getting more. I thought it was going to be like $10,000 at the most. And then I'm just like throwing more money. I'm like, oh my God, this is really going all in. like my head was spinning that night. And then I looked at all the requirements for the liquor license, and one of them was called the local option. I didn't know what that was, but I was like, whatever that is, I don't know what that means. And then I was like, done. I got to the end of the process, and they're like, all right, you're all good, Mr. Harris. Black Cock's ready to go. And they're like, we have one more thing. I was like, what is that? It's the local option. I was like, what does that mean? It's like, oh, you got to go in front of the city council and get it approved. And I sort of got my eyes went like, boop. I was like, I got to go in front of city council and try to get a brewery name, Black Cock Brewery, approved. And the worst part about it is I built an LLC because I kind of took some of the liability on myself and built an LLC. And the LLC is actually called Black Cock LLC. So it doesn't even say brewery in it. So and of course the logo's not on it. So it really looks bad. So right. I had to submit this name to the city council for them to do approvals. So they set the date for the city council meeting, and I'm crapping bricks, man. I was shitting bricks, man. And I called them up to City Hall and say, hey, am I going to have to talk? Do I need a presentation or something? They're like, no, you're not going to have to say anything. You're just going to sit back there, and they're all going to vote on it and whatever. I was like, all right. So I go to the city council meeting, and they're like, all right. And here's a brewery license for Black Cock LLC. And, man, everyone was like little kids, like if you were in kindergarten and the teacher said like penis or something. Right. Giggling. Yeah. They're all giggling. I'm like, oh man,
grown ass people.
Yeah, grown ass people. So they're going through. They're voting. 2 of them vote no on anything alcohol related. So two of the city councilors like, no, alcohol's bad. My family's ruined, and then they give a little spill, and then. And then
haters.
Then 3 of them, because of the name, didn't vote. So one, I wish I remember the names. I don't care now, but one of them was like, I get it, but I don't approve of this name. Da, da, da. The other one's same. I don't like it. The other's a female, and she's African American, and she really didn't like the name, and so it ended up 5 no's and 5 yeses, which means it's a tie. So the person that breaks the tie is the mayor. So I'm like, so I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on this. I'm not a rich guy, man. That's like everything I have and some. I'm like, oh my god, this stupid name is gonna take me down. Me messing around, trying to be funny, and now I'm gonna be in the cleaner. Holy I know, I've got kids. And then the mayor's like, he's like, you know what? I'm good with it. Yeah. I was like, what? So I came out of there so happy. But that was a close call.
Dang, for me, man, that is very close.
Yes, for me, just being a jokester and.
Hey, man, but with risk, there's a reward, and you took a big gamble with the name, and I mean, like you said, it's just that different. Yeah, you bring that different vibe, and it seems to be working, man. Yeah, looks like you guys are doing really well for yourselves.
Crazy.
Yeah, we don't perverse the name at all. You know, we keep it. You know, we used to name our beers off Black Rooster breeds and stuff, and then we were like, no, that's not that cool. So we, our first beer was called the Valdarno Ale, which is a Black Rooster. We're like, that's too far. You know, they're all weird French names and Spanish names. We're like, nah, we'll call it. And what we're actually doing is, and you'll see it in our names, is we promote a lot of the local businesses with our names. Trying to kind of collaborate with them and kind of, you know, I scratch your back, they scratch ours. So like
this one's a Stellar Coffee.
Yep. So this is the Stellar Coffee Stout. Mm-hmm. So we named it after Stellar Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, we get all our coffee from them, and then we actually named it after them. And then our red chili is actually Invaders Red Chili Lager.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, the Invaders baseball games actually have beer. So it's probably been, I don't know, 7 to 10 years since they've had any beers at the Invaders games. But we used our liquor license, extended it out to them, and we were able to have craft beer at every single game. So every single game we had craft beer on tap.
Damn, that must have been legit.
Yeah, so it was a lot cooler, man. You had some really good, you know, a lot better crowds with it and stuff. So we had a lot of positive.
I like the location of the place, honestly. Where you have it, it's in an area where there's not a lot of anything really. I mean, they have that burrito factory like you were saying the other night, and then y'all's, and then everything else is not really much like that.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, when I first started, it was like, because the leaseholders actually my family, my in-laws. So it was like, when we were looking for a spot, I was like, man, I can't find anything. You know, the leases are too much. And they were like, hey, you know what? If you move in here, you can you know, we'll give you a good price on it. I was like, all right on. Little did I know, because I was just going to build a bar, move in, and start serving beer. Little did I know I was going to have to put like a lot of money into it and put in another restroom. I had to do a bunch of stuff in the back. I had to build a legit kitchen, so there was a lot to it.
On the kitchen note, I mean, y'all don't serve food, do you?
No, not yet. Well, we do. Well, we serve pizzas. We serve like cheese platters and chips and salsa. So we have a real basic menu right now.
Oh, okay.
But I literally just got back from Austin yesterday.
Texas?
Yeah, Austin, Texas, and I picked up a food truck. So we're about to have Blackhawk Brew and Eats. So we're actually going to have a full menu. Yeah, we're building a patio. I bought a food truck. We're going to have a cook, and we're going to have a full menu. here coming up, hopefully in the next 2 weeks. So.
Oh, nice! Even sooner than I thought you were.
Yeah,
gonna say.
I got to start making money off this thing. You know, I took that.
No, that's cool. And food trucks seem to be the new restaurant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like any and everywhere, that's the places to be.
Yeah,
is because one, you're getting it super fresh. You know they're making it right there on the spot, and it's just a little bit more convenient instead of having to go and sit down and wait and order and all this whatnot. So hey, man, that's really cool.
Well, we tried a lot of different stuff. So my dream was, I was like, I'm gonna have the brewery, and I don't want to do anything with the food. I'm gonna get these food trucks in town, the Mateo Locos, the Lunas, the Topzillas, and I'm gonna just rotate them. Just keep the menu rotating. So if you don't like the food one week, you'll have different food the next week.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The problem is, you know, a lot of people depend on these. None of these food trucks are move around, right? They all stay in the same place.
Yeah, they kind of got their little spots.
They got their spot, right? The variety liquor guy that sells tacos stays there. The Mateo Loco stays there.
You got Guerrero's right there by the old Payless.
Yeah,
like it's just
they don't want to move.
Yeah,
they're like, this is my spot. Everyone knows I'm here. So I was like, man. So I tried a few different. We had someone that came on early on that was helping out. Her food was great. She wasn't getting the sales. So she moved off. That was the groovy tacos that came through, and then
I remember that.
Yeah. Then we had who did we try next? We had another burrito. It was more concession food, so her food, all their food was great. But she came in. She was kind of off and on coming in, and that's a problem if you don't have food every single time someone wants to go there. People are going to eat before they come, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, well, I don't know if Black Hawk's going to have food, so we better eat at Taco Bell before we run over there. And people were doing that, so it wasn't a big sale on that. Same thing with Mateo Loco. We had him there. Just didn't give it enough time, wasn't consistent enough. So I figured the only way I'm going to get food in there is if I do it myself.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a food truck. We're gonna put it there. We're still working on the menu, building the menu. We're of course we're gonna have the basics, the tacos, the hamburgers, the green chili cheeseburgers. But we're looking at kind of angling towards Irish food. Yeah, the fish and chips. Yeah.
So what made you go Irish?
So did you ever go to Ridoso? Go down Valleys.
Oh yeah,
the Irish restaurant there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because in Cruces they have what's in Cruces? They have the little one across the university.
Yeah, I was on. Used to be. I'm trying to think of it now. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a little pub right there in the little.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call it. Little complexes right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, O'Malley's.
Yeah, O'Malley's. So we I love that place, and then they closed down. So I was kind of pissed about that, but it's kind of flooded. So there's tacos. Everyone does tacos, right?
Right.
The best tacos are Variety. You go to Variety, you go to the taco guy over there. He's gonna have.
You can't beat $1, I guess, on Tuesdays.
Taco Tuesday's a real thing right there, bro.
You got Ali's is good tacos. They all have good tacos, man. And we were like, man, we got to do something different, man. Burgers, that's kind of different. And a lot of these taco trucks don't do burgers, right?
Not really, no.
Yeah, so
I think Godzilla's one.
Yeah, and he doesn't even do that. He does a brick and mortar now, so yeah, so we're like, we're gonna do burgers. We're gonna do tacos because everyone likes tacos because they might want tacos. But we needed something that kind of set us apart from everyone else, and that was the Irish food. So if you go there and like, I'm a taco guy, I'm a fish taco guy, you'll be able to get that fish taco, but you'll be able to get like bangers and mash, some mashed potato based.
What's your typical days and hours?
Like in my life.
No, you're brewery. We don't want to get too
24/7, man.
No, at the brewery itself. The reason I asked that is like, how long is the truck going to be there for those that do go? They'll know, like, okay, maybe till midnight, maybe, I don't know what your hours are today.
Yeah. Well, so I'm going to start it off like I started the brew. The brewery started up like literally, I didn't think it was going to be such a big thing. I was going to literally be the only employee. I was going to make the beer here and there, and then and then on Fridays and Saturdays, I was going to serve beer. But our opening day, we were packed. It was still our best sales day we've had in a year. It was our grand opening day. There were so many people in there. I had my mom in the back washing dishes. We had so many people at the brewery, so it was ridiculous. So we were like, I was in a panic. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to hire people. So I hired a brewer. I hired, another bartender. I hired event manager. I hired who else do I have? I have a million employees. Now I'm about to hire a cook. I have a cleaning person. So I started just hiring people to help me out. So I was able to expand my hours from the weekend hours, and then we're now open every day. So Monday through Friday, we're open from 4:30 to 9, except for Friday, we're open till midnight and a half, so 12:30. So,
okay.
But on Thursday, we have karaoke night, and we've actually been staying open later on those karaoke nights.
Oh, really?
We've had such a good turnout.
Hey, that's creative. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna start the food truck in the same manner. So we're gonna have one cook. He's gonna be doing everything, cook service, all that stuff, ordering. He's gonna basically be running the truck. So I'm gonna max him out on the weekend, those prime hours.
Right.
And then once that happens, we'll start training someone else to kind of take it during the weekdays. And of course, my dream is to be open during lunch hours on the weekdays for all the people in the area training lunch, and then dinner, like, be a Buffalo Wild Wings basically. So that's the dream. It really helps too, because if you have two people running the kind of familiar with the food truck, if the guy gets sick on a Friday night, I don't want to not have food on a Friday night. At least I can get the other guy to come in and cook. So it helps them out with that diversity.
I got a question. How does one come upon finding a brewer, bro? How did that come upon you? How'd you find a brewer?
Yeah. So my brewer his name's Joel Cederberg. He is actually he worked at Stellar Coffee. So he has a rich background in brewing coffee. So through the years he went to school for it. He was roasting his own beans. His parents are in the coffee. They have their own coffee shop. And then he came here, and his wife, Rachel Cederberg, I hired her to be my bartender, and she's doing some of the managerial stuff there too. Well, he kind of strolled in. He was like, "Hey man, I'd like to work here too, man." And I was like, "What's your background?" And he's like, "Coffee." And I was like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "I want to brew." I was like, "Well, right on, man." So he knew nothing about brewing beer, and I kind of threw him. It was like sink or swim. So I spent a few weeks, and we just brewed together. And I was like, "Hey, this is how you do it." And then he's totally the student became the master. So now he did. I thought I did a lot of studying. He did a ton of studying. Nice. He listened to podcasts. He's reading books. He's watching YouTube videos. A lot of it comes from podcasts. So he'll sit there while he's brewing. He'll brew all day. He'll be listening to brewing podcasts,
right?
And just kind of learning.
That's the kind of guy you want, man. He takes that extra step, runs that extra mile.
Just tell him to listen to the Beer Bros podcast.
How does that? And I guess there's really not much to brewing other than learning and teaching yourself or knowing how to brew, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he was to the point where so I think this is the last recipe I completely did myself. This kind of Stellar style. Now we collaborate, and I'll be like, all right, beginning of the week, what are we brewing this week? A lot of it's the same time. We try to keep our cornerstone beers, like our Stellar style. It's our we try to keep our Anunnaki, which we don't have on right now. We try to keep that on. But other times we're like, well, let's do something different this time. So me and him will kind of talk about it. And he'll be like, "This is what I'm thinking. We're going to do this and that." and then I'll kind of chime in. Actually, it's getting hard for me to chime in because he knows more than me now. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. Right? So we just kind of crash or burn. You know, we made some bad beers. We learn from it. You know, a lot of times the beer isn't really that bad, but we'll taste something off on it. We'll know there's something up on it, and we'll make a correction the next time we go around. But yeah, it was kind of cool starting because a lot of times if I hired a brewer, right, well, for one, he's gonna want a lot of money because he's got all this experience,
right?
And then two, he's got his own way, right? Mm-hmm. So he's probably not even gonna listen to me on how he does stuff.
Probably expect all this extra equipment.
Yeah. So it's like Joel, he appreciates, you know, I get him a new keg remover and he appreciates, you know, so it's a lot better, you know.
He sounds dope.
Yeah. Have you met Joel yet?
I might have. I met most of the bartenders, you of course, and then there was another guy that was helping with the lights and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, that might have been him. I don't know if we ever do this again. That'd be cool to bring him on. He's kind of
by all means, the more the merrier.
He's also a musician.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he plays. What's funny is when he came into the brewery, he just barged in the door, and I was the only one in there. And he came in, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" He introduced himself as Rachel's husband. I was like, "Man, I know you from somewhere." And it was actually probably a month before that. I saw there was a guy in the downtown. He was playing the what do you call it, the accordion.
Oh yeah.
Some guy, some white dude was like playing the accordion downtown, and I was parked at the red light, and we literally made eye contact, and we stared at each other. And it was going through my head. The reason I remember it because I was like, man, I should ask this guy if he wants to play in the brewery. Maybe I want to play the accordion. That'd be kind of funny. No one plays the accordion. And I was like, oh, whatever. And drove off.
The start of the romance.
It's funny that you say that, and that's kind of our way of going about it.
Yeah.
Is you just kind of engage in something completely out of the norm.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, he could probably be on the videos, and then just it's funny how things just come about.
I just go to the brewery and I just see it, and I would ask her, who is the guy who owns this? And I was like, oh, he's not here right now. One time you were, I was like, hey man, what's up? And I shook your hand, and you were like, oh, hit me up on my business card. Yeah. And then it just was this fruition after that. It was kind of just everything.
Well, that's a cool thing about this small brewery, right? Is like you go to Santa Fe, you're probably not going to meet the owner because there's more than one.
Yeah, probably.
But you're probably like not just hanging out in there, you know.
That and there's more than one. You guys are the first ones in Roswell, and that's super super cool. Like, I don't know. I guess I just never expected something like that here.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's typically it'd be like an oil tycoon from like a Chase guy coming from the oil fields or something with all his money.
Right. Because the hopscotch isn't that bad, but I don't know. I haven't been there, and it's been about a year now.
Because they closed down.
Oh, they closed down, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think they sold their equipment to Red Door, if the rumors are correct.
I have no idea. Like I said, the only reason I had even gone over there was they had held, you know that game Cornhole?
Yeah.
They held one of those little tournaments.
Oh, really?
And went over there, and I think they had that pecan beer from Las Cruces.
Yeah.
And then they had another IPA of something. I don't even remember what it was. But that was I think, only two beers that I really remember them having on tap.
They were cool. They did some really good beers. Mm-hmm. They were real stand-up guys. We got in a bind last winter because we're new to the ordering beer stuff and ordering ingredients and stuff. And it was after that big, it was a big snowfall. And we were out of grain. We didn't have any grain. It wasn't like a specialty grain. It was just a simple 2-row grain. And we're like, dang it, we can't brew this week. We're gonna run out of beer. So we called around. I'm not gonna say any names. We called a bunch of breweries in the area. You know, some of them like we called one of them Marie Doso. No, it was Bonita Brewery in Lincoln. And they're like, dude, you're not going to make it up here. You're not going to make it up
because of the weather.
Because of the weather. They're like, we'd love to give you it, but you're not going to make it up here.
Damn.
All right. We asked a few others, and they're like, no, why would you give you $1,000? A few others in the area. I won't say name. But then we asked Hopscotch. I was like, man, we're going to buy, we need just like 1 bag of grain just to get us to. And they're like, yeah, come down here and come pick up the grain. And they're like, when you order your next grain, just bring it down. I was like, right on, man. So we went over there, we grabbed some ingredients and stuff. So, yeah, and they were like really cool about it. And,
hey, that's cool,
man. Stand-up guy, man.
That's what we need.
I never even physically met the guy, but he was like, yeah.
Hey, that's cool, man. Yeah. It's weird how whoever it they weren't willing to help you out. That's kind of odd.
Yeah.
I guess it's more of a like y'all are competing for the area kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's usually not like that in the brewery industry, and you'll see that because a lot of these breweries collaborate with each other, do like a collaboration. So we haven't done it yet. So if any breweries are listening, but so there's like Guadalupe Mountain. They've asked us to do a collaboration with them. So we're probably start opening up to that. And you'll see like Bosque and Deer Creek Brewery. They did a collaboration a few months ago, which is weird. Because I went to high school with this guy, and he started a brewery about the same time in Santa Fe called Deer Creek Brewery.
Okay.
Yeah, and it even gets weirder. Because I don't know if you Facebooked it, but there's another Black Hawk Brewery in existence. So when I came up with the name, I Googled it, I Facebooked it, I did all that stuff to look for this, make sure it was something that was still my idea. Nothing. So all of a sudden I'm doing all the paperwork, and then one day I'm on Facebook, and then I'm looking up Black Hawk Brewery, and this Black Hawk Brewery shows up in Orange County, California. And I'm like, but they're not Black Hawk Brewery, they're Black Hawk Brewing Company. But yeah, they have the rooster. They have so they started at about the exact same time as us. I was still going. They actually got their liquor license stuff going quicker than us, but they were so they were up and running before us. But when I was still going through the liquor license process, and I was like, oh shit, they're gonna say that this thing isn't available. So I checked like the U.S. trademarks. I was looking to make sure they didn't get a trademark. They didn't. So what did I do? First thing I submitted a trademark for Black Hawk Brewery, so I own the Black Hawk Brewery trademark.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't want to do it just to try to make money off them. I just did it so they couldn't say, hey man, you can't call yourself Black Hawk, because that would have messed up my whole liquor license process. I would have had to.
Now that you mention that, I guess that's a little bit of advice to ourselves is we're going to have to look into it, because there was another podcast called Beard Bros Podcast, but they don't post anything anymore.
Yeah.
And they've had theirs for quite some time now, but I guess that's something we would need to look into.
With the podcast, it might not be a problem now, but when you start to get to that point where like maybe you're doing advertisements or something in your states and stuff, you have to watch out, because then that's when you start infringing on their trademark. Like if it was just Black Hawk Brewery and none of us did business out of state, and it would be fine. But let's say they grew up or we grew up and we start doing business in California, then it becomes a problem. So,
I see.
So it was. I just wanted to nip it in the butt and get the upper hand. So
definitely, that's a smart idea. You took advantage of it, and it just happened that you came across it.
Yeah,
it wasn't even like you were really looking for it. So that was a.
And of course, if we make it big and we become millionaires, then we're good. But if we don't, and they become millionaires, we might be in good shape too. You know?
Yeah, you never know.
Sell my trademark for some. They got a couple $100,000. It might be okay with that. So.
And so how do you go about like? I guess it's like, is there room for expansion?
Yeah.
Possibility of moving? Maybe not now. Obviously, it's so fresh and you're barely there. But
let me tell you a story. Actually,
okay.
I'm gonna throw people under a bus on this one because I'm still mad about it. But
I like this.
I'm gonna say names on this one. But we were doing we were looking at expanding. So there was a restaurant for sale in Ruidoso, New Mexico. It's called Midtown Eats.
Okay.
So they advertise, hey, we're selling our business. We don't own the building, we're leasing the building, but we're going to sell everything in it. All our furniture, our kitchen equipment, everything. It's a running business. You just take the reins and go. So they're like, right on. I was like, that's perfect. They're right downtown. They're right across from what is it, the Hidden Tap. Right in the plaza. I don't know if are you familiar with Ritos?
Yeah.
Where the ice cream shop is,
right.
And there's a gazebo, and they're in the corner. So I'm like, right on. I call them up and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in buying. They're like, all right. So we get all the paperwork going. I get the finances together for it. And then I was like, hey, I told the restaurant, you know what, I'm going to call the plaza owner just to make sure everything's cool. Us selling beer and that stuff. So I call the guy, some dude from Albuquerque, I don't remember his name, right, or I would say it. But some guy in Albuquerque, and we're talking, he's asking, hey, yeah, I saw your stuff on Google. He's like asking about the history of it, how I got started doing beer. He's being real friendly. And then he asked me, hey, what are you going to do about the name? I was like, well, I'm going to call it Midtown Eats. And then once our liquor license gets approved for this location, it's going to go to Black Hawk Brewery. And we're going to do food and beer. He's like, well, that's going to be a problem. I was like, what's a problem? He's like, well, you can call it Black Rooster. You can call it Black Chicken. You can call it Black Crow. But you can't call it Black Cock. I was like, all right, I got you. I was like, well, you know what? And I told him, we don't perverse a name. We don't have like penises on the wall or name our beers out penises. It's all, we have a Black Rooster on the logo, so we keep it PG. He's like, no, still, it's just in the name. So I was like, all right, I'll work with you on that. I was like, we'll take on the logo, anything outside, we'll take the words Black Hawk Brewery or Black Hawk off of it. So we'll just have the Black Rooster and say brewery. He's like, let me think about it. So he thinks about it for a few days, and then it's no, sorry, no Black Hawk. So I was like, well, I guess never mind. So we were, I was waiting to close. We had a realtor doing all the paperwork. It was like finished business. I took vacation because I was going to go to Ruidoso and start it up and just get it going, and then it fell through. So that was our expansion.
Oh, man.
So I was so mad. Because I put so much energy into that, and then that's why this food truck came. I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm doing a food truck. I'm doing food. I gotta get food.
That's crazy to think like people are really offended by the word cock. Like we're in 2019, cock is still like
it's like it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible.
I'm not gonna lie. It was a little like out of left field when originally I seen it, but of course I wasn't like, man, that's offensive. Like I thought it was hilarious.
You weren't scared of it? I was.
Like I was like, oh, okay, cool, But you do get those people, man, that just, even down to the council committee. You had 5 people, like 2 didn't even vote, and 3 were like against the complete name. So it's just kind of, it's weird.
Well, it makes sense too. Like everyone pushes it to the limit, But what if a Dick's Sporting Goods came in here? We're not gonna allow Dick's Sporting Goods. I bet you they get no push-up back if a Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, that's true. It's like
or a BJ's brewery. A BJ's. There's a BJ's.
Oh yeah,
that was almost our podcast. That was almost our podcast.
That was almost our podcast because it's B and I'm a J.
Yeah,
this is B and J's podcast. But
it was almost.
We were like, I don't know. I guess we should have just took that leap.
Yeah, but they ran into something similar in I think it was in Washington, but in Washington, California, one of those western cities, and they ran into the situation because it was like a computer repair shop, and they called themselves the Long Eye Repair Shop. So they called themselves like a racist term, like they were Asian, of course, but they called it Long Eye Repair Shop, and they got shut down. And that was a big stink because it went to the Supreme Court. It was like, you can't tell me what I can't call my place, all this stuff. So, but this, of course, had racial connotations to it.
Yeah, that seems a little bit excessive. That's like, I guess there's just that line, you got to know where to draw the line, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, you don't provoke it. So, like, and that's what I guess. Like, you were even willing to compromise. You're like, okay, we'll take the name away. We'll still, represent, and it should be fine. And I thought,
yeah, because the black cock is important. It's a rooster, really.
I mean,
that's going to be our trademark through the black rooster, and you should see us trying to get employees at the black cock.
Is that a challenge?
That can be, because I'm going to put this on here so drop it.
Okay, that's fine. Why is that?
No, just because so it's not like when you see the logo like this. It doesn't look bad, right? Because you're like, black cock, oh yeah, it's a black rooster, right? But when you just see it on like in writing and it just says black cock, like 99% of the people take a different route, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you go to on your computer and look up www.blackcock.com, it's not going to take you to like a rooster site. I promise you that. See, right? It's going to take you
definitely. Yeah, definitely going to take you.
Can I work for you for like a couple days so I can put it on my resume, man? So when they see it, like black cock.
Yeah, if you look at ours is blackcockbrewery.com, not blackcock.com. Make sure you put the brewery. It's very important.
Right. Yeah, definitely make sure you do that.
I'll just try to have it on my resume.
That's too funny. I mean, it's cool how you came up with the name. I mean, there's a whole story behind it that not anybody and everybody's gonna know,
Yeah,
and that's pretty.
Now they're gonna know. Yeah. Maybe we should put it. Well, we do put it up. We have so after we did the city council meeting. Actually, before it, I called the newspaper. I was like, "Hey, my name's CD. And I'm starting a brewery called Blackcock here in Roswell, New Mexico. If you, kind of arrogantly too, I was like, if you want to do a story about me, call me at the." And they're like, "Oh, thank you." He put something polite. They're like, "No, we're not interested at the time." No. I was like, "Really?" I was like, I thought that would be a story. And then after the city council thing, one of the paper lady comes up to me. She's like, "Actually, we want to do an interview with you after you got approved." So they did an interview with me, and there's an article in the paper and stuff. Yeah.
That's freaking cool, man.
And then I was looking for PR opportunities too. So I called the news company, and I was like, "Hey, are you guys interested in doing a story on our new brewery in Roswell?" And they're like, "No, not really. It's not our thing. We don't do like advertising. You usually have to pay for it." I was like, "Yeah, well, it's called Blackcock Brewery." They're like, "Well, actually, we do."
What the heck? Is that really how it convinced them?
So they came and we were all on the Albuquerque News with the Blackcock Brewery. So it was pretty cool.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah. KOB.
Okay. Yeah. Dang, dude. That's what I'm saying, man. Is we love to see stuff like this happen, and any and everybody can do something. You took a chance, man. There was that 50-50 of just because the name. It wasn't because probably people didn't believe in you or they didn't think it was a good idea. It was simply the name, and I don't see nothing wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people would.
And it's weird because if you were my friends or knew me, like when I said it was you weren't surprised. You're like, this dude's but like to the normal people, they're like, "What is this guy? A freaking weirdo?" Like calling it that. Like, so it's kind of just how I am. I'm just like to have fun with it stuff, and
I think it's super cool.
Our place is really cool. That's kind of what we keep is we try to have fun at everything we do. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I work for Loprino Foods, and then I have this brewery. Loprino Foods is my bread and butter. That's what puts food on my plate. The brewery is kind of the fun thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so we get to do cool stuff. Like we're doing shows every week. We're doing, we'll spend all our money on shows for the week just to, have entertainment there. So it's kind of got this, I don't want to say laid back attitude, but this attitude of let's have fun doing stuff. So I think that energy kind of goes into the employees as well as the customers because they see, if I was up there and, that was my bread and butter, I'd be like, I you need to make sure you're signing this much beer a day.
Strict and
knife hand. Yeah, but since it's we're just kind of having fun with it. My employees have a better attitude. They joke around with me. I joke around with them. the customers come in and they see that, they see the employees are having a good time, and right, because that sucks, right? You go to a bar and you always catch that bartender in a bad mood, right? And then that energy kind of you absorb it, right?
Yeah, it's the worst. It's like,
on to the next bar.
Or like if you go there, I'm not saying all the time, but most of the time they're in a good mood, they're bubbly, they're having a good time.
I could vouch for it.
Yeah, they didn't have their boss coming down on them saying, you're messing up.
I think it's super cool what you do during the week. Like Wednesdays, what do y'all do on Wednesdays?
Our schedule kind of goes, so let's start on Monday. Monday is open mic night.
Okay.
So we have artists in the area. They come in and they're able to play. There's no venue like that here. There used to be a venue like that, and it was Stellar Coffee. So people that knew a couple songs on the guitar and just kind of wanted to sing it in front of people. They used to be able to play there, but now they can play at Black Hawk Brewery. So we have a pretty steady group of people that come in on those Monday nights and it's open to anything. There's people that can come in and rap. If you have a poem that you wrote and you want to read a poem, there's anything you can get up on stage and kind of do. So we're real open with that, and I think it's a cool thing. We've actually taken people that come in and open mic and they sang and we're like, hey, you're pretty good, man. You know a lot of songs. You want to do a show for us? So we'll hire them to come on a Saturday and play for money.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah. So it's cool. So it's kind of cool watching people move up that ladder with our open mics. And then Tuesday, we don't have anything going on Tuesday, really. Wednesday, drink beer. Wednesdays, we do game night. So we have a guy that hosts that. His name is Lyrical Fluff. His name's Alan.
He's cool.
He's cool. So shout out to Lyrical Fluff. And he hosts them. A lot of their games are... what is it called?
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros.
Oh, actual games.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like board games.
He has those out there.
Oh, really?
We have board games. People play board games, but this is video games. We've had people come in and bring Tekken. They've brought like Mario Kart. We have Guitar Hero playing on a big screen there. So we have all those games going on Wednesdays. Yeah. Thursday, and we just invested in this about a month ago. We do karaoke night.
Right.
Yeah. So we got this big TV. We got this whole karaoke system. We just upgraded some of the sound system on it. So you can go up there and sing karaoke. And it's not like singing karaoke at it's like plain Jane. We got the whole lighting set up. We got smoke.
Yeah.
We got smoke. We got lasers. So you're up there.
Damn.
And then you could either have me or Joel or just mess with doing the professional lighting for you.
Okay.
While you're up there, kind of messing with some of that stuff. So it's kind of like people get into it. So we do that on Thursdays. Fridays and Saturday nights are kind of reserved for our live performances. So we'll either have them one or the other, or sometimes both. So
dang. So how'd your summer go? This was your first summer, right? And so how'd it go for you guys?
It was good. We of course we started off the summer expanding our hours to be open every day. So but we did see a steady increase of popularity. As our Facebook likes go up, more people are seeing us, more people are going there. We're getting more regulars there. But it went really well. It went so well that we're building a patio. So we're right next door. We're building like a 45-foot by 25-foot patio with the food truck and everything. So we're kind of doubling down on that.
Dang, that's cool, man.
So
from the first summer, y'all already like, here we go.
Oh, man,
get ready.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what our year is gonna be like.
Next year we got big plans. There's even more room for expansion. The building next to us, they just finished renovating that, so they're either gonna sell or buy. So if we need more indoor room, we're able to go next door as well. So
that would be super cool.
So that's probably the next. So our next venture is that, but also increasing our brewery size and expanding our capacity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're looking at it probably going 4 times bigger on the capacity. So
dang.
Keep up with the beer demand.
Really? That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Ideally, how many beers would you want? like right there, draft beers ready to go?
Yeah, it's hard to say because probably 50% of our beers are maybe a little bit less, but probably 40% of our beers are guest beers. So like the Boskies, the Santa Fe's, Steel Benders. So 40% come from that. 60% come from our own drafts. Most breweries do only their own drafts. So so they don't promote other breweries. We're kind of, if we did that, we would have a hard time keeping up with production. It wouldn't be impossible. But this just kind of lightens our load. But people like it too because, you know, I love my beer, but I like other beers too, right? I like to go to Santa Fe. I like to have a Santa Fe happy camper once in a while.
Okay.
And I don't want people to have to go to Buffalo Wild Wings for that. So I think 20.
20?
Yeah, I think we want to get it to 20 beers on draft.
That'd be super cool, man.
But to get some
I don't know if I'm be able to pick for 20. I can really pick from 10. I'll be honest with you.
And do you do any type of I guess you would probably do that if you got to 20, but like any sampling?
Yeah, we do sampling, so you can come in and if you don't want to go all in the beer, you can have it, for example. We'll do a small pour for you. And
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what the chocolate beer you have. What's it called?
It's a chocolate lager.
That one, I tried that one. It was decent. I liked it. I'm just not really a fan of chocolate. Like he knows, I'm very picky with shit. And chocolate was one thing. I just don't really. I just wanted to try it. See, it was good. It was really good.
That's good.
I'm not a fan of chocolate, so it's not mine. I like I said, it's like a Anunnaki. I like this.
Yeah.
I don't like coffee, but
yeah, this is our best selling beer. Actually, our Stellar Stout, and it's probably our most expensive to make because we put the coffee's expensive. We put like 5 different malts into it. Typical beer probably have 30, maybe 4. So it's a really expensive beer to make, but it's our best selling. So.
Do you sell beer outside? Like, I guess not, huh? You said no because you got to produce so much or whatever.
Yeah, no, we're not selling it outside. You can get a growler filled and take it off. We actually do canning in house. So we call it a growler.
Yeah.
So it's a 32-ounce can. It's like a Foster's can, and we'll seal that up. So we can put anything on draft into it. We seal it up, and then you can take it to go.
Dang! See, nobody I think I know.
That's the reason I like it.
That.
I go in there, and like I said, I bring it onto the podcast. The silver can, I bring it.
Oh, yeah.
That's his stuff.
Yeah, we're out of cans right now because this, believe it or not, this like tariff thing got all the breweries scared. So they bought up all the cans, and then I was behind the power curve on it, so like I don't have any cans. So, so I'm out of cans right now.
Shortly out of stock.
Yeah.
I mean, that's super cool, man.
It's just fun to go over there, get like 2-3 beers, get a little buzz, and then take 2 or 3 home, and you're just at home now sipping his beer.
Right.
It's super fun. That's why I like it.
Yeah,
I can't go to Farley's and be like, hey, let me get a 32 ounce of Bud Light and take it home. Like, boy, you better go to the store with that shit.
Yeah,
that's true. That's crazy. I just would have never. Where'd you come up with that idea?
So it's actually when I in Arizona, I was visiting family in Tucson, and Whole Foods. Of all places, I don't know if you've been to Whole Foods in Arizona, but a lot of them have bars in the Whole Foods. So your wife can be shopping in the Whole Foods, and you can go to the bar, and you can drink craft brew, and they just have craft brew right there.
That's a genius idea.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, can I get this your office?
Yeah,
go for it.
Yeah, they're really cool. And then you buy craft beer at local beers, and they can it for you right there. And I was like, what the heck is that, man? And so when I started mine, I remembered that, and I was like, that was actually really cool. How you could, and it. This is a industry secret here, but once you crack that beer, you're gonna drink it the whole thing because you can't seal it back up.
Right.
Like a growler, you can try to, and it never works out right. You can open it, pour a couple glasses, and seal it back up. And now you have your growler still, so it kind of forces you to drink more beer.
Dang, there you go.
It's the way I do it.
And do they come in different sizes?
Yeah, they do 32. Like you can anything. You can do 8 ounce all the way to like 32 ounces, the biggest.
What made you decide? Just the fact of more?
Yeah, because what we didn't want to do is growlers. I didn't want to do glass growlers. I'm probably going to end up having to. You're going to see some glass growlers in there soon. but I didn't want to do it because you have to clean them. When I first started homebrewing, I did only glass granola. So I bought millions of these glass and I gave them to all my friends. Hey, bring them back when you're done, and I'll fill it back up. And then, but my friends are savages, and they would leave that beer in the stupid bottom of the thing, and it would turn into like syrup.
Oh yeah.
So, and then you're like sitting there rinsing it, and you're looking at it, rinsing it, trying to get this syrup out of the. And I was like, man, someone's gonna do that, bring a jacked up bottle, and then I'm gonna not be able to clean it right, or the bartender's gonna miss that she didn't clean it, and then get them sick. So, we, for safety, we kind of didn't do it. But
probably gonna do it.
It's not like it's super expensive. That's why it's like what, $7-8 for one of those 30.
Yeah, like $8.50. Yeah, we actually lose quite a bit of money on that because the cans alone, you'd think it's just a cheap little can, but it costs us like $1.25 just for the can and the base.
And then your beer was like,
damn. It's 30, and then it's 2 beers, so it's like, you're already at, it's $10 right there. So
I mean, I think you can find a price at anything because you're literally leaving with the beer, so it's like I think anybody would pay for it.
Yeah, all right, I'm upping the price. Everyone blame him.
Alright, if you guys think
I'll pay for it too.
they're $10, you know why now, but
I'm gonna pay for them regardless.
I mean, to be honest, it isn't gonna stop anybody from buying them, that's for sure.
It's a perfect idea.
And we've made
idea. That's just great.
Yeah, we made a couple shift on our prices, and not because we're trying to make a lot of money, but basically we started realizing quite a bit of cost. Like one cost that I had no idea about is licensing, music licensing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you have to have a license for people to go entertain?
Yes.
Really? I would have never.
So for anyone to come in and sing a song, for you to play anything on the television, for you to do any karaoke, you have to pay a lot of money. So there's 3 big ones out there. There's BMI, there's ASCAP, and there's this new one that just came up, CCAT or something like that. And you have to pay them lots, and not like a little bit of money, like $600-700 a year, which is quite a bit of money.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and that's to have the guy playing on the street to come in there and sing Nickelback, on his drums. I have to have that licensing. So it's and that's why I can tell you, that's why you don't see more places in town having music. Is because
I was wondering what the issue was there.
And they find you, don't worry about it. And I wasn't trying to avoid them. I didn't know about them. And then I swear, the first month I was open, ASCAP came. And someone warned me about it. I said, ASCAP's going to talk to you. I was all right. We can do it. We can, we'll pay them. So we pay them $600-700. All right. Which is a kick to the, we're not ballers, so we're like, whatever, we got to play music. And then we had this company BMI come, and they're like, all right, and you got to pay us $800. I'm like, what? I just paid ASCAP. They're like, well, they only cover half the songs. We cover like the other 25%. And I was like, all right. And then I didn't even snap that they said 25%. That means there's another 25% out there, right? So this other company calls me, and they're like, all right, now you got to pay us because we cover the other 25% of the songs.
Oh my God!
So then I have to pay these guys. I'm like,
and how do you know this is all legit? Like they're telling you?
I looked it up. I looked because I was mad. I was getting mad because I'm like, I'm getting rolled. These guys are rolling me.
Yeah, that seems fishy as hell.
But it's kind of jacked up because they get this licensing, and I don't know if the artists get it or how much they get, but you're paying them for it. And then you can try because a lot of my artists sing original songs. Mm-hmm. So I tried it. I was like, you know what? All my artists, they don't sing cover songs. They don't sing Nickelback. They sing their own songs that they wrote. Mm-hmm. And they're like, have you heard every song in the world that you could say that they're singing their own songs? I was like, no.
So then they're like, that song's been sang. Yeah, it's recorded somewhere.
So like, how do you know? How do you know? But then we did karaoke too. So it's
dang.
Yeah, so that's why you don't see it, and that's why people have dropped it. That's probably why I'm not going to put words in people's mouth. That's probably why Skeller's dropped it. But
Right.
it doesn't help anyone. It only hurts local guys.
Yeah, that
can't play
sucks, man.
Yeah.
But
Well, they always can come on Beer Bros. We'll allow it. Blackhawk Beer Bros. We'll allow it.
Don't worry, they'll find you, man. These guys
are
are
on YouTube. Subscribe.
I even asked him. I was like, "How did you find me? How did you know this?" She's like, "That's my job. I just go on Facebook, and this is my area." So I looked up shows in Roswell. And I saw you didn't have a license. I was like,
"Oh shit, that's crazy."
Because I thought someone was narking me out. I was like, "Someone
right. That's crazy though. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody knows that's a thing.
Yeah, now everybody knows that's a thing. Watch out for these fuckers. They're gonna get you.
They're gonna get
3 of them fuckers. It's not just one. It's 3.
Great. I know. I have to go search for them.
Yeah,
I still live for this first.
It's crazy, man. Yeah.
Well, shit, man, that's dope, dude. Thank you for coming, man.
Hey, no problem, man. That was fun.
For sure. It was fun. We're gonna share all your stuff. We're gonna share it on our Facebook, on our. You guys have an Instagram. I don't know if y'all have Twitter, but we're gonna share our video on.
We have Twitter.
You have Twitter?
Yeah, we have like 3
So we'll
followers.
share everything. So for everybody that's watching, please go like one of their pages at least if you can. Do all 3.
Yeah, do the
Then-
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. There you go, and go visit them. Try one of their beers. He said he samples them, so take a little sample, see which one you like, and there you go. Thank you again,
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
It was fun, man.
Appreciate all that information, stories, and looking forward to seeing how far this goes, man.
Yeah, man.
I see it going very well for you.
That's good.
So, till next time, y'all have a good ass week. Appreciate it. Beer Bros out.